Hi everyone, John here, and I'm going to show you how to connect the HX Stomp via the 4 cable method to your amp, and also why you'd want to do that. So the first thing you want to do is connect your guitar to the left input of the HX Stomp. Second thing you want to do is take the left mono output from the Stomp into the input of your amp. The next thing you want to do is take the stereo send from the side of the HX Stomp into the return of your amplifier. And the last thing you want to do is take the left mono return from the Stomp into the send effects loop of your amp. Now don't forget this next part, it's very important. You're going to need to add the effects loop into the signal chain of the HX Stomp. This is going to be your amplifier, essentially. So you're going to have your amp, you'll be putting some distortion before that and maybe some effects after it, just like you would do in a normal signal chain. So now, after all that, you may be wondering, why am I going to all this much trouble? Well, if you put the Stomp in the front of the amp, all right, and all your effects are in the front, you've got the distortion going into the amp, and then you've got on the front of the amp, you've got the delay and the reverb. It's going to sound like this. So it sounds quite horrible that the delays sound kind of fuzzy and a bit muddy. But with this 4 cable method, what it enables us to do is put the distortion in the front, and then that effects loop is essentially your amp. And then after the amp, you can put your delay and reverb, and it will sound really cool. It'll sound much clearer. So as you can hear, it's much clearer. Now the other cool thing you can do with it is you can bypass your preamp, so the sound of your amp altogether, and you can load up one of the Stomp's preamps. So what that essentially does is it turns your amplifier into a power amplifier, so without the color of your amp, and it allows you to load up any of the other amplifiers in the HX Stomp. So if you want to get your amplifier to sound like you know, something a bit more interesting, like a Mesa Boogie, you can put that in the chain like this. So you've bypassed your amp, and then you're adding in a Mesa Boogie, and then you'll get the sound of a Mesa Boogie through your amplifier. And of course you can add all the effects, so it's very cool. So hope that helps. Have some fun with that, mucking around, and I'll see you on the next video.